We ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. When my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. When my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, glowing up, but we still trapped. That's how a nigga survives. Flowing out, got the crowd packed. Yeah, that's how a nigga provides. Y'all insta this, y'all snap that, y'all diss this, and they snap back. Another mass shooting in the headlines. I'm like, damn, where that attack at? Cause y'all think this about race. They font that shit in your face. It's like every day it's the same agenda. It's really not that hard to trace. Fuck it, we might as well face it. Accept it, whatever it's wrapped in. There'll come a day when they run out of grace. So me and my niggas stay trapping. Yeah, ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. When my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Hey, someone be too who I wanted to be and then what I became. Ended up going my own way, but I couldn't stay in my lane. Now if I'm honest, I've taken a liking to wearing these chains. They hold me down, make it easier when I start feeling the pain. Out of the overflow, your heart, they say your mouth speaks. Well, my heart must be fucked up, cause I can't speak and I can't sleep. So I stay woke in this daydream. Got shit to do, got the world to see. Got the same crew, got some new fleets. There's an empire, fuck a boutique, that's real. I only say what I feel, got a new plate with the same meal. On a new hype with the same chill. Y'all too fake, I stay real. Got cast down from heaven, but I'm too good to stay in hell. I don't know where the story ends, but I keep writing like oh well, oh well. Yeah, I keep writing like oh well, oh well. Yeah, hey, I don't know where the story ends, but I keep writing like oh well, oh well. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. When my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. But my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Power in numbers and representation.
Fat people are humans.
Size privilege.
Diet.
You don't have any power.
Stupidity!
Diabetes.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Full normal.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing, testicles. Ooh. Welcome everyone to episode 24 Hundo and 55 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. What's going on, Beaches, Booshes, Busters, Hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy, Papa Swolio, back with another episode. Today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everson K2 Flexing and all you beach.
Yeah, it's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
The fucking Catalina wine.
All right, welcome, fam. Let's get this thing. I feel like I'm a little bit out of focus. I just did this before the show. I feel like I'm a little bit out of focus. Wait. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. All right, now we are sharp. Now we are ready to fucking go. Welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome to episode 2455. Make sure you come on in through the door. Hit that like button. What's going on, Swole fam, in the Daily Swole Telegram chat? We got Cerny, Marissa, Eric. How we doing? Karen, what's going on, fam? Drop in the comments down below. What are you smashing today? And let's get into today's episode. We have awesome Swole fam posts. We are loaded with some questions from Instagram. I'm sure we'll take some live questions in the knowledge cock portion. Of course, when we go balls deep, we might just go deeper than ever before. Now, I know we say that all the time, and you think, Papa Swole, how can we go any deeper? You already thrust so deep, and those veins are just tearing my walls apart. How can we even go? Don't worry. Leave it to me. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here, fam. You know?
Inconceivable!
That's why I'm here, to make sure that gets accomplished. And you're in the right place. If you want to go deep, you're in the right place. Okay, check all the links down below for swolenormousx.com. We have an amazing event going down tomorrow, only for members. That's Roundtable 35 tomorrow, January the 26th at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So tomorrow's episode will be private. If you like to listen to the show live, I don't blame you, but it's going to be private. Oh, shut your fucking face. Join the Swole fam. Join the Swole fam right now, swolenormousx.com. Check out our Fuck Your Resolution specials going on for a limited time. We're deep into the year. We're almost through January. Can you believe it? We're almost through January already. Anyway, join us and be there at 5 p.m. Have a live conversation with all your favorite people inside the Swole fam, plus myself included. It's going to be a chill time. We go for about 2 hours every round table. And everyone knows that it's a quick 2 hours and it's an amazing 2 hours. That's right. Loretta says the fastest 2 hours ever. The fastest 2 hours ever. It just goes so fast. So tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time, be there. And Roundtable is going to be fucking lit. Michelle says, it's true. My walls are trashed. I know. I'm telling you, split open. Split. Just peel like an onion. Oh my God. It happens. And of course, we talked about last couple days. Last Friday, we dropped an epic brand new Driving While Gaining for members only inside Swole TV. Released it in overtime, and it's also available in your Driving While Gaining uncensored section. So go give it a check out. Cops Gone Wild, fired for sex scandal. That story, if you saw it trending. Oh, I raged. Oh, I went hard. I went Hambone Jones on that DWG, and it was awesome. So go and check that out. That's available for members inside Swole TV as well. Let's bust this nut open now and get into today's episode. Hit that like button. Leave us a 5-star review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Hit that thumbs up on YouTube. Come on, Beaches. You know better. Ow. Yes, sir. Put some respect on it. What'd you smash today? Drop in the comments down below. Falcon, did you forget the green? Did you forget the stem of the dick draft? All right, hold on a second. We got to fix that. Falcon. God damn it. You fucking bird. Christ. If you want something done right, you do it yourself. Unreal. If you want something done, you can't depend on people, fam. You can't depend on anyone. Fucking fault. If you're not gonna do it right, then don't do it at all. I'll do it. If you're not gonna do it, I'll do it. I don't need your fucking help. All right? I don't need your fucking bullshit. All right, arts and crafts time. Yeah, for sure. All right, hashtag Dick Draft for a chance to win today's Swole card. And for some of you that might be new, you might not know what the Dick Draft is. So actually, fam, what is the Dick Draft? How would you define the Dick Draft? How would you explain that to someone who's watching the show for the first time? I want to read your perception, your understanding of the Dick Draft. So those of you that might be new, how would you explain the Dick Draft to them? So hashtag double D for a chance to win today's Swole card. And let's get some definitions because I want to share that with those that might be listening and think, what the fuck is going on? That being said, let's spin on it, moisturize, and get that tip in there. Let's get into some Swole fan posts while you guys write those definitions in the comments down below. Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. That's right. You might also be wondering why we bust the nut before I put the tip in. It's like, well, you want a 5-minute podcast? We got to get one. We got to get one out. We got to get one out before we even start. Otherwise, it's gonna be like 5 minutes. Hey, welcome to the show, and we're done. We don't want that.
Emotional damage.
We don't want that. Oh, there we go. Updates. Logan, I have the show streaming onto my living room TV, and my roommates got into the show with me now, and they're asking about the Dick Draft. Fam, we need to define it for Logan's roommates. Let's give them a hand. Let's give them some help. Michelle, if it's your first time, welcome to the Thunderdome. Indeed. Welcome. We're here. William says, willingness to dick whomever is being shown. Ooh. Yeah, that's low. That's a low bar.
That's a huge bitch.
Nick says the Dick Draft is men who volunteer to bone the unbonable. Quite so. That's a great definition. All right. Keep on dropping them in the comments below. This is something that we have to endure as a society, but we are trying to eradicate the septum pierced, the blue hairs. We have to fuck the woke back to reality. We have to turn this cruise ship around. And it's a slow turn, fam. It's a slow turn. Cerny says, brave people who are willing to stick it to a blue-haired septum-pierced retard. I think Cerny nailed it. I think that's about it. There you go. Blue-haired septum. Fuck yeah! Doesn't Jessica have blue hair? She's like, I have blue hair and a septum piercing. Yeah, but you're not retarded. There's a difference. Okay, so now that we got everyone up to speed, let's get into the first Swole fan post of the day.
What's in the box?
Blue-haired septum-pierced retard. You think I'm savage? Just look at Cerny. Cerny takes it to that next level. That's why we love her. She's our Swole fan mascot. Why is my mouse not working? All right, we're going trackpad today, fam. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Here we go. Danny in the house. What up, fam? Update on my septum surgery. Speaking of septum piercing, did you get a septum piercing, Danny? Danny got his septum piercing removed, and you see how serious septum piercings are? Danny needed to get his septum piercing removed via surgery. Oof. It was in there so hard. He had to get it actually surgically removed. No, I'm kidding. Update on my septum surgery. Just got out of surgery about 2 hours ago. Feeling pretty good. I'll be out of commission for about 2 weeks, ready to get this healed up and back in the gym, smashing my workouts. Hashtag go the fucking gym and Swole fam for life. Well, we're here for you and glad to hear you're doing all right. We talked about this yesterday a little bit. I take this as Danny has had to get his septum piercing surgically removed. So that's my story and I'm sticking to it. All right, let's get into the next post. We got one from Kayla. Hello, Papa. I know that grass-fed organic beef, this is from our Discord, is the meat of the gods. Well said. But everywhere I look, someone's saying red meat is linked to cancer. Thoughts? I ask because I already have a breast condition caused by birth control. Don't get that shit, ladies. And we've talked about that many times. That could turn into it. I've been on a journey for the past year from staying away from chemicals and products and foods associated with higher risks. The cancer link is, I'm not a doctor, so there's my liability. These are my opinions from all of my research and experience. The red meat to cancer link is nonsense. There are a lot of other issues that perpetuate this false narrative, like vegetable oils and seed oils, processed sugars, and the combination of such, including lifestyle habits, or more specifically lifestyle habits, but poor lifestyle habits, of course. And there are issues with looking at singular markers like cholesterol and only focusing with a spotlight on cholesterol without looking at the other markers from a full blood panel. And we know that just high cholesterol in itself isn't an accurate marker of heart disease risk, for example, or issues. So you can't look at things in isolation. And what's crazy about our medical system, and just to go on a little bit of a rant here, and you can do your own research. This stuff is out there and it's coming forward more and more. As we know, especially in the past couple years, since like the lockdowns and COVID, the medical system and the expert class has just been exposed as not knowing what the fuck they're talking about on so many fundamental issues in terms of basic science, especially with all the woke nonsense out there and many so-called experts, degrees, X, Y, and Z, institutional experts are bought and paid for. This is just being more and more, the skirt has been lifted. The emperor has no clothes. Like, you're seeing it more and more. It doesn't mean that everyone is wrong. It just means that there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of, just because you have a degree, just because you went to school, just because you've been practicing for 20, 30, 40 years, doesn't mean you know anything that you're fucking talking about. So when it comes to these types of isolated focuses in medicine, I mean, think about this. It's very strange how you have specialists that really only know about that one area of the body. Now, it can be beneficial if you have someone who's an expert in and doing hand surgery, because the hand is different than the shoulder. You have an expert, someone who's just an expert at doing shoulder surgeries. They're the best at doing shoulder surgeries. For whatever reason, that's their focus. Foot surgery. Foot is different than the hand. It's similar, the body, but it's like the bone structure. They're just very good with the feet. They're very good with the hands. They like to focus on the nose. People have their focuses. Okay, so surgeries and things, that's one thing. But when it comes to having a gastroenterologist, then you have a hematologist, you have a endocrinologist, you have all these people that really isolate in one thing. You're referred to one person to another. The body is a system. Everything is related. You can't really look at these systems in isolation. And there's so many correlations with the digestive system, with mental health, psychological health. So you have a psychiatrist or a psychologist that's dealing with someone's mental issues, but it has to do with their diet and their nutrition. So, I mean, we're not looking at things from a holistic standpoint. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't have specialties. I'm not saying that there should be no specialization, but everything's very segmented, of course, because you could charge more. But at the same time, you're not getting optimal care because a lot of these things are disjointed and disconnected. Not to mention the fundamentals that we always talk about every day, the 7 pillars. These things are not focused on. The fundamentals of eating quality food, the fundamentals of exercising, getting quality sleep, all of which, not getting quality sleep raises your risk of heart disease and all sorts of cancer and preventable disease like 10, 20 times, ridiculous amounts. If you don't get quality sleep, if you're up all night, if you're working night shifts, if you're doing these types of things, your health risks go through the fucking roof from sleep. Eating red meat, eating grass-fed beef, for example, is not going to lead to cancer. There are many other things, many other items that you're going to be consuming, like vegetable oils, seed oils, processed sugar, lack of sleep, all these other artificial sweeteners and things that are much more dangerous to humans. We're all going to die someday, so you can make that argument, of course, like, oh, we're all going to die from something. Yeah, but a lot of people are going to die unhealthy, sick, miserable, and struggling with preventative issues a lot younger than other people. And red meat is probably, arguably, there's different types of red meat, but the most nutritious food on the planet. So not buying into any of that nonsense linked to cancer bullshit. Of course, if you're cooking the shit out of it, if you're eating just like burnt meat all the time, understand that these studies are done usually extrapolate over large populations, and they're looking at people that are eating lower quality bacon. They're eating processed meats and deli meats and preserved meats like that. They're eating grain-fed beef. So everyone's been saying fat's bad or red meat's bad, but a lot of people eat shit. They eat red meat and they drink soda and they eat all these other carbohydrates and vegetable oils. They cook it in canola oil and all this other type of stuff, and they eat a lot of other shit. So just because you eat red meat doesn't mean that's what's harming you. People eat low quality red meat. They treat that as, oh, you're eating meat, but then they're also smoking, drinking, getting poor sleep. Nutrition science is very, very hard to do. It's next to impossible to do because you can't do this in a vacuum. So a lot of people are just saying stuff like that. Oh, it's called linked to cancer. These are just, it's sloppy science. It's not accurate. It's not good science. You cannot get real accurate. You can't get real accurate information when you do, because everyone's lifestyle and nutrition habits and lifestyle habits are so different and nuanced. Anyone, if you talk to any expert, nutrition science is like probably the hardest thing to actually extrapolate. So, yeah, you make sure you're getting that organ meat in too. Make sure you're getting in grass-fed beef, grass-fed, grass-finished beef, organ meats and stuff like that. So I don't buy into that shit at all. Not at all. Anyone else, you could drop your thoughts in the comments down below. That's my take on it. Most of that shit's fucking nonsense. Why is my mouse... This is so weird. My mouse is... My mouse, I can move it, so it's not dead. All right, I'm going to plug it in. Hold on a second. It's not dead, but I can't click. It would make more sense if it wasn't working. All right. It's all right. I'm a trackpad man. We're good. Okay, let's see here. When you're talking about birth control pills, birth control is evil. Check out that book. I've been talking about it a lot. Estrogeneration. It's in my bookstore on Amazon. Estrogeneration, like estrogen and then generation. Estrogeneration. Brilliant title. Great book. It'll break down the reasons why all these estrogenics are in our environment, where you can find them, and what you should be eliminating in order to reduce it. And birth control is on the list. When Mama Solia went off birth control, her body changed so much better. She feels so much better. Her cycles are regular. Birth control is evil. It's dangerous. It's so bad for kids. I can't believe people are putting their kid. I can't believe children are on this stuff. It's fucking heinous. Very scary shit. Yeah, Ashley, check it out. She says it's also on Audible. Yeah, Audible, it's a good read on Audible because the author, I only like it really when the author reads it, but it's a good one. I a lot of times I get a book on Audible, and if I like it, I buy it too. Doesn't mean I'll read it again, but I like to have it also. If it's a good book, I like to support the author and also have a hard copy. Just in case Amazon one day says, you know what, you don't get access to your books anymore. That's why I think books are one of the best investments. Whether you like to listen to the books or read on your Kindle, because I read on my Kindle too when I go to sleep. I have like a red covering on it and stuff. And I like to listen because it's more efficient. I like to do, and I like to consume content through my ear holes, which is why I like to dish the knowledge cock to your ear holes as well. But I'm sketched out when it's digital. When it's Kindle, when it's Audible. Like, I don't want, who knows? What if the app doesn't work? If it's a good book, I want it in perpetuity. Yeah, birth control. Learn more about it. Birth control it fucks up women's bodies in a big way. Lacey, I'm about to embarrass some men. This gym is awesome. Kettlebells up to 100. Dumbbells up to 110. Very nice.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Lacey's about to show everyone that she's got a vagina, and she's got a strong one too. That didn't come out right. That doesn't sound right. But yeah, Lacey's our resident beast. So she's going to be smashing some steel and embarrassing some men. What is a man, though, Lacey? What is a man? What is a man? No one knows. No one knows. You mean people with penises? All right. We'll come back to that in the balls deep portion. Lady Justice decided to go back to my old schedule of going to the gym 6 days a week. Smart move. But only doing one muscle group at a time. Incline presses are doing a number on me. I've done 15 out of 30, got 10 more left. I hate having been sick and now having to start over again. Well, glad that you're back on it. And sounds like you're doing a classic bodybuilding type split. I personally don't split it up that much where you're doing like one body part, doing each body part a week. Going to the gym 6 days a week is not a problem as long as you're splitting up. But I prefer to do either upper body pushing, whether it's chest and biceps or chest and triceps and some shoulders, or chest and back, or, you know, that kind of thing. So either I'm splitting up chest and back for pushing, pulling, and then, or I'm doing an upper body where I love chest and back. I usually kind of go back and forth between those, but good for you. Get that consistency going. Last one here. We have a picture of an egg. I think Megan is trying to knock off the other most liked picture in history. Wasn't that egg in 2020 or something got like hundreds of millions of likes? So maybe Megan's trying to compete with that. Got my first homegrown chicken egg today. So excited. Had to share. That's what I'm talking about. Good for you. I would love to get some chicken someday. I would love it. All right, awesome. Join everyone that you just saw. The Egg, Lacey, and so much more. Inside Swolenormous X, join us. We are going to have a great conversation tomorrow for the roundtable at 5 p.m. We'll take some questions now. Drop in the comments down below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio for a chance to be featured. We'll take some questions right now. Marissa Papa Swolio, what's the title of the birth control book? It's not a birth control book. It discusses estrogenics in the environment. So it goes over many different types of pro-estrogenic materials, items in the household and in the environment. It's called estrogeneration. So estrogen and then eration. Estrogeneration. Instead of generation or estrogen, he combined the words. Estrogeneration. I forget the author's name, but type that in and you'll find it. Okay. Again, hashtag Dick Draft for a chance to win today's Swole card. Let's get a little, before we get into some more questions, let's get into a little tainty cam here. Aww. And of course, we have the church. The church hath returned. And we got the church perch. I need to get some more text on the screen so we have like a little church perch there. All right. She's snuggled up. She loves that bed. And the tainty man is just zero fucks given as always. All right. First question. Let's jump on. Ooh, risky. We're going Instagram. We're going on Instagram right now. Here we go. Drum roll.
What's in the box?
Instagram questions. Oh my God. All right. Cole from Lego Ninjago. Okay. What age should people start going to the gym in your opinion? I think it depends. I think you could very much go to the gym as long as you're with an adult. If you're going to a gym, if you're training and exercising, you could do it when you're young. You could do it when you're 5 or 6. What I just wouldn't recommend is lifting heavy weights. You can get your child, for example, light little weights and have them lift with mommy and daddy kind of thing. They could do yoga with you. They could be climbing ropes outside, climbing trees. Kids should be barefoot, running around outside and getting to all sorts of, jungle gyms and type of thing, hanging, climbing. They should be very active, but more with body weight. When it comes to lifting weights, structured lifting weights, bench pressing, squats, deadlifts, if you're taught properly, you can learn when you're 9, 10, 11. You could do light weights, those wiffle weights. You could do very light bars. They have weights for kids. CrossFit makes these weights for kids, and you can do stuff. You could teach proper form when they're very young. The most important thing is when you start providing overload. And of course, you don't want to push to failure. So I wouldn't start doing any kind of intenser training until they're in their mid-teens. And I know some kids lift earlier and they're, benching and doing this stuff when they're 13, 14. It's just more high risk because your joints are not fully formed yet. Ligaments, tendons, everything is still developing. You're going through puberty. So there's a lot more risk for an injury. And an injury at that age can be more detrimental long-term just because your bones and things are still growing and forming. So personally, just for overall safety, I wouldn't recommend doing any kind of like intense focus towards failure, really pushing until like late high school, 15, 16, 17. It doesn't mean you can't lift weights, but I would make sure it's more body weight. Yoga would be fantastic, general activities. But of course, nowadays, can you do it younger? You can. You can do training. You could do sports training. You could do more athletics. But again, doing like max lifting and really heavy weight training, that's different than just going to the gym. You can be lifting when you're 12, 13 and just not doing a ton. The issue is volume and the intensity. So you got to be careful. Marissa's talking about stunting growth. Like it's hard. It's hard to stunt growth. You have to really cause some traumatic damage in the epiphyseal plates, but it's possible. In other words, it's more possible when you're growing. That's when the damage is going to occur. And that's where the dangers are. So just keep it in mind. It really depends on how they're taught and what the context is of the lifting. Jessica, starting with IG, living on the edge. I know. Fucking fringe. Logan, right now my jaw is messed up and I can't eat solid foods. Would you recommend blending the beef up? Why is your jaw messed up? Too many extracurricular activities?
Because dickers?
Logan's roommate's like, oh, sucking dick. Okay, I'm joking. I'm joking, kind of. I had to. I'm a grown-ass man. Your jaw's messed up. Sorry to hear that. I can't eat solid foods. That's really fucked up. What happened? Would I recommend blending the beef up? I guess you can. Yeah, if you can't eat solid foods, you got to get your food in somehow. You could blend it up a little bit. There's probably nothing wrong with that. A nice meat shake, protein shakes and stuff like that, but blending up some food or making it soft so you can kind of mash it. You don't have to really chew. Good stuff. Any way you can, get that food in. Good for you. Bone broth would be great too. Bone broth would be great because collagen and elements of the help recovery and stuff. Derek, Papa Solio saw a carnivore MD using maple syrup. Have you ever tried it? Does it mess with the stomach? Things like raw honey, real maple syrup. We're talking like real maple syrup. And those of you in Canada know, like, yeah, you just fucking tap a tree, getting some real. You can get it online. It's more expensive, but real maple syrup, that kind of stuff is going to be definitely more beneficial and not like the same type of, it's not like Coca-Cola. It's not like Pepsi and high fructose corn syrup. So I do have some high quality maple syrup. I don't use it often. I really go more for raw honey. Apologies for the vacuum. We have some cleaning going on in the house right now. So happens on Wednesdays. It's all good, but we got to get our man cast in. So hopefully you don't hear it too loud. You won't know unless you try it, but I would not do any of that hyper processed stuff. You don't want to just get like that sugar maple syrup, the stuff that the liquid candy. Carson Wheat, I like what Jordan Peterson says. Let children do dangerous things while they still have a level of protection. Paraphrased. Yep. Kids need to fall. Not that you want your kid to get hurt, but children need to build that competence of doing dangerous things and being successful. Like it doesn't mean that you let your kid break their neck and like, hey, he's climbing a tree, let me just let him fall. You can still stand under him and catch them if they fall, but like they should have experience doing things. They shouldn't be nerfed. They shouldn't grow up in a nerfed society. Don't let them just touch stoves and stuff, and this is why when you have children, especially boys and like young boys are always trying to climb stuff, like get off the couch and they need to be exercising. They need to get more activity. And this is usually a sign, like when your dog, if you have a dog that doesn't listen or that's really hyperactive, chances are you're not taking them out enough. They're a high energy dog that needs to be walked, that needs a lot of exercise, and they're not getting it. So they're going to act out. They're going to lash out. second. So let's see here. Logan, I knew that was coming. Brother, me and my roommate drunk fighting. Yeah. It sounds like, okay, you and your roommate drunk fighting is why you're drunk. Yeah, probably not a good use of your extracurricular time. And or sucking dicks. So, drunk, that's what we call it? We call it drunk fighting now. Is that what we're calling it?
Because.
Is that what we call it?
Chicks will dig you. Or dudes, or whatever gender thing you're into.
I got you, fam. I hear you. Let's see. Zach2032 on Instagram. What do you think about Andrew Tate? You know what? What is going on with that right now? The last I saw, he was in jail in Romania or whatever it was. And it was super sketch, right? The situation's really sketchy. It sounds like he's being railroaded. Doesn't sound like, at least as of yet, that there's anything supporting his arrest. It seems like it's very, very sketchy. But last I saw that he was being held for an extra 30 days, like to the end of February. I don't really know anything about what's going on. So to be honest, we'll have to see how this plays out. But what I think about him is definitely going to depend on what happens here. If there's absolute proof that he was doing like any kind of trafficking X, Y, and Z, then that changes my opinion drastically. But a lot of his opinions, the way he says it, I see a lot of similarities with him, like with how he talks and stuff. Like I say what I think, whether it hurts your feelings or not. I mean, he goes a lot harder and covers a lot of different aspects, but he says a lot of things that I agree with, and he says other things that are kind of like, but he also says things to get a rise out of people. I get it, the hyperbole of what he says. So the hyperbole of what he says is also for views and for attention. And we'll see. I mean, he is what he is. It doesn't really matter what I think. I don't love the guy or hate the guy. I don't really know much about him other than just seeing his videos on social media like everyone else. But he says a lot of things that need to be said. And he says other things that offend people. And what else is new? People get offended by everything today. Let's see. Jessica. Papa Swolio, with going back to eating meat being such an easy transition for me, I'm ready to branch out to more nutrient-dense options. Does bone broth / tallow have more or mainly just organ meats? In terms of nutrient density, for those that don't know, Jessica was like a vegetarian for 12 years, and she has come back to reality and is enjoying eating delicious grass-fed beef. So we're proud of her. I would go for the organs. Tallow is the beef fat. So I would recommend cooking your steak and cooking your foods in beef tallow or ghee or grass-fed butter. Bone broth is different. Bone broth has glycine, proline. Bone broth is fantastic for the gut. So I would definitely recommend implementing bone broth in your diet. Just start off with like, a little bit, maybe like a cup, and see how you feel. Just because of like the fats or like sometimes you might see how your stomach reacts to it because you might have to ramp into it. But bone broth is fantastic. Organ meats are the most nutrient dense foods. So liver would be the first one I would recommend getting into. Liver, bone marrow, heart are fantastic. So yeah. So in terms of nutrient density, nothing surpasses organs like liver, for example. Bone broth and tallow are fantastic. Tallow is excellent for cooking. And bone broth is great, especially this time of year. If you're in a colder climate, bone broth is legit. Love bone broth. People here, some people don't like Andrew Tate. Whatever. The question is why? Why don't you like him? Just curious. I appreciate what he does from like a social media standpoint, the impressive virality from like a business standpoint. But you don't have to like him. It's okay. No one's opinions really matter. But I'm just curious as to what, I don't know what the current state of everything is. We'll read a couple comments after that, but interested in your thoughts, fam. If you want to talk more about that. Freddie, Papa Swolio with the belt squat machine, the one where you place a belt with a chain around your waist and the plates are loaded on the machine. Do your hip bones get used to it? Bruising is mad. Yeah, like anything else. If you're not used to doing front squats, the bar will really be uncomfortable. It's like anything else. Your body will adapt to it. Belt squats are great. You can do this at home. If anyone's interested in doing a belt squat, you can get the belt squat from Revolt Fitness. That's a great bargain. It's like $200 and you can just attach it to your rack. It's great. I have one. I also have another lever. It's a really big belt squat. It's a really big one. So you can load up more plates with like bars on the side. And you could do it at home. You can get some risers for your feet and get like a belt and do belt squats. If you've never done a belt squat, it's a great way to focus on the quads and not load your spine. So it's a great way to pretty much do just lower body from a squat position. So it's kind of like having a leg press, but it's better than a leg press. So a leg press, for example, is not working your upper body, it's working your lower body. But from a squat position, there's no other way to do a squat with heavy weight unless you are holding on your back or holding in your hands. So a belt squat, that just reminded me, I haven't personally done belt squats in a while. So now you just kind of wet my whistle for some belt squats. But yeah, you'll get used to it. You might also, maybe the belt isn't in the right position for you. Maybe you need to adjust it. There's also different belts. You can get belts with more padding. Maybe you put a towel in there because it can be uncomfortable, maybe just with your bone structure or the way the belt is. But there's different types of belts. Maybe the size isn't right and it's cinching too hard. There's different size belts. So maybe you want a belt that's a little bit bigger. That way it hangs a little bit more and it's not as... And is the belt squat, is that belt on the belt squat, Freddie, is that actually designed for it, or is it like a dip belt? Because they make some shitty fucking belts out there that might just not be comfortable. Cassie, he is not being railroaded, talking about Andrew Tate. He is a piece of shit who got caught. He's been flaunting his activities for years. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. We'll find out. No one here, I mean, I'm definitely not in favor of like trafficking women if that's the case. But a lot of times people are going to say shit. If you're on top or you're popular or you have a big target on your back or between your eyes, a lot of people are going to be manipulated to say things. So it's super sketchy nowadays. But I hear you. We'll see. Well, thank you for the follow-up. You are way better than Andrew Tate. Well, thank you. You are fundamentally a good person. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Cassie. We'll see. Pandemonium, Tate is trash. We got some anti-taters here. Anti-taters. Don't eat nightshades. Anti-potatoes. It's all good. It's all good. Your opinions are welcome here. Like I said, we'll see. We'll see. Unfortunately, I mean, the legal system's not the same I'm not saying the legal system here is fantastic. It's not the same in Romania as here. So we'll see. It'll be interesting, but like I was saying at the beginning, I don't know where it stands now. So, you know, when it comes to any person, you really have to, when you're talking about someone like Andrew Tate, it's more important to talk about like, okay, what specific thing? Because even people that you don't like will say things that are true or say things that are accurate as much as they might say things that you don't agree with or that are inaccurate or hyperbolic. Even with me, I'll probably say things sometimes. I mean, I'll say things that I don't agree with in the middle of a rant or something like that. If I have to analyze it and really break it down, I'll be like, yeah, I don't really even believe 100% of what I said there to that extent. I'll just be ranting. But I give myself a lot of leeway because that's what I choose to do. Frank, most people love the message and hate the delivery. I think he is the souped up version of Jordan Peterson. Well, that's the thing. When people don't like that's why I think most people don't like the delivery. It's like, well, then don't like it. Then don't like it. You know, a lot of people don't like a lot of people get offended. But again, I don't know all the details. I don't know everything about what's going on. That's the same reason why. Same reason why people don't like Trump, because of his tweets. I mean, the way he delivers things, even though functionally, as a president, he was more effective than most people were. But people didn't. They hate on Trump because of how he talks and the manner in which he talks. So maybe it's something similar there. Let's see. Will, do you eat any other meat besides steak, or is that your main source of protein? Grass-fed beef. I'll also eat pastured eggs. So other types of meat, eggs, which aren't, I know it's not meat, but I guess it is. I'm thinking. We'll have some bacon rarely. Haven't had bacon in a long time. I know the sun is shining. The birds are chirping, the bacon sizzling. We've kind of navigated more beef, really more beef, different types of beef. So meat and eggs. Meat and eggs are my main sources of protein, and raw dairy. So I'll have like my raw kefir and raw yogurt. Had a little bit of raw cream in the coffee, butter. So we do a lot of colostrum and stuff. We do a lot of raw dairy and raw kefir. That's the thing when it comes to what Nick says. I may not like Tate, but it smells a lot like what they did to Kavanaugh. Yeah, I don't know. Like, in other words, I don't know where it stands right now. People are going to like the way he says things. They're not going to like it. That's a standard. That's par for the course. If you're brash like that and people hate the fuck out of me, they don't know me. So I'm okay with that because I know they don't know me. So it doesn't bother me at all. But of course, if you're actually doing illegal stuff and you're really doing shit like that, then it's super sketch. Then it's no good. But we'll see. We'll see. Like many people, there's good and bad, but some people might think it's a net negative and some people might think it's a net positive. And you are welcome to your opinions on that. Freddie, Papasolio, follow up on the belt squat question. The weight needed for it to be challenging for me with my goals is much higher than a barbell squat. I'm guessing weakness in core and our upper back is why. Well, yeah, it's always going to be more. You're loading more weight, but on like less structure. So you need more. Yeah, it's your back, it's your shoulders. It's more neurologically overloading when it's on your total body. So there's more like compressive force, and anyone with a belt squat. That's why people they put 10, 15 plates on a leg press, but they couldn't squat 225 with good form. Just because of the proper form, because of the structural overload, the compressive force, the load on the spine and everything. Yeah. Same thing with everyone. Yeah, Double D in the hashtag. It's time for the dick draft. We're about to go balls deep, so hashtag Double D. Yeah, there you go. This is my general, let's see. Pandemonium, I'll agree. He says some stuff I agree with, but for the most part, he's meh. There you go. We'll see. But that's the thing, Pandemonium. Once I heard about the human trafficking, that made him worse in my eyes. Not proven. Like nothing's jury's out on that. And plus it's Romania. Again, I have no idea how the law works or doesn't work in Romania. Definitely not as well as the United States, I would say. But accusations mean nothing. They just don't. So we'll see what happens. If it comes out to be 100% true, I think we can all reassess and be like, well, that's not fucking good. So I don't think anyone wants it to be true, though. I don't want it to be true. Some people, that's a creepy thing, is some people that hate Andrew Tate for whatever reason so much, like they want him to go down. It's like, whoa, wait a second. If you want him to go down so bad, that means you want it to be true that girls were trafficked or whatever he's being charged for. It's like, that is not cool. It's like, I would much rather you dislike him and he's innocent, because then that means a lot of, girls or women or whatever he's accused with didn't happen. So there's that too. So let's not hope he's guilty, because that means a lot of people got hurt. What is he being? Is it just is it trafficking, like sex trafficking? I don't even know the charges or what they're claiming or trying to look for. Lady Hawk, Papa Solio, how do you suggest cooking liver? I want to try it, but don't know how to prepare it. Well, I don't cook my liver, so I'm not a good person to ask. Lightly, though. You'd want to sear it. You really want it like rare, because if you cook it too much, it's going to taste like fucking shoe leather. So if you're going to cook it, pretty much that's it. But I eat it raw, so that's what I do. I don't cook it. Keith, don't you get tired of just meat and eggs? No. Do you throw lamb in sometimes? No. I do not get tired of meat and eggs at all. And at all. But we don't eat, the thing is, we find variety within what we're consuming. So, like, again, some of you might be like, wow, that's expensive. I don't buy fancy shit. I don't spend money on other shit. I don't spend money on TVs and movies. We don't go out to eat. We don't do waste money on stuff. I view it as wasting money. So food is an investment. So I don't shortchange the food. So we'll eat ribeye steaks. We'll eat ground beef. And you can do ground beef as like a scramble and mix in some pastured eggs. We do it as like, kind of like strips. We make it like chunks that we can have. And so we make the ground beef in different ways. You can make patties. And then Mama Swole will make like a kind of like a beef patty sandwich where she'll do beef patties and then put like a over easy egg between it with some raw cheese. And it's kind of like a hamburger sandwich with the bun being the hamburgers. We'll do skirt steak sometimes. We'll have grass-fed jerky. So we have, within the meat and eggs, we have like a bunch of different styles of consumption. So the taste is different. Everything's different. Don't get tired of it at all. At all. All right, let's see here. Kara Alexis, do you consider Trump fat? I haven't seen him lately, but he eats like absolute dog shit the last I've ever heard. He's always eating fast, gross. How is he alive with what he eats? How does he have that? How does he have that much like energy? Or like, how is he able to do all those speeches and be like constantly on the move and eat shit like that? I don't understand how people function on that kind of fuel. Yeah, he's always been fat. Absolutely. I thought he lost weight. I don't keep up with like his BMI, but he's always looked fat. We need a president that's fucking ripped. But I guess if you're a president, you don't really have time to get ripped. But any president is really not lifting. Any president is not really lifting. How come you always see all right. What's with presidents and bike riding? Can anyone tell me that? What's with presidents and riding fucking bikes? I'm going on a bike ride. Like, where's the president that's fucking deadlifting? Or hitting PRs? Like, where's the president that's fucking doing kettlebell training? If I'd have a kettlebell in the fucking Oval Office, I'd be in there just fucking doing Turkish get-ups on the seal on the floor. Lisa, Papa Swolio, Rekka. Yeah, Clinton used to jog. It's actually a soft J, Nancy. It's yogging. Yogging.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Lisa, recommendations for cold lunch. How to pack meat-centered lunches for kids at school. Don't worry, it's private, non-woke, LOL. Just struggling for lunch options. Private doesn't mean non-woke, so I'm glad that you clarified that. So hopefully. You see in the news all the time, these private schools that are like promoting all this fucking ridiculous shit. All right, but good to hear. How to pack meat for cold lunch. I mean, slice it up. Cold steak is delicious. I love that shit. Cold steak is so fucking good. Jerky's fantastic. It's a little dehydrating. But there you go. That's my thoughts on it. Cold steak is like, just cut it thin. It's fantastic. I love cold steak. I love it. Yeah, that is fucked up, Nick. People are screeching about Andrew Tate when no one's releasing Epstein's client list. The hypocrisy is disgusting. It's so fucked up. It's misdirection. It's just that's why I think it's more of like a patsy. It's more of a distraction from the shit that's actually, we literally have proof of child sex trafficking. It's just been swept under the rug. No one fucking cares. Or people care, but they're just like, no, they're just ignoring it. Let's pay attention to what's actually more important. Especially when it's proven. Frank, do you use any natural marinades on beef? Nope. Just salt. All right, let's see here. Scrolling down. Papa Swolio 2024. Let's fucking go. Let's go. I'm going. I'm going. All right, let's go balls deep. I'm going 2024.
That's deep.
I got the shirt. We got the shirt. We got the shirt over there on papasolio.com. Papa Swolio 2024. Okay, so yes, where were we? If you want to submit a question, ask papaswolio.com. If you want to call in, and of course, we'll be here. Tomorrow is our roundtable, so we'll be back here on Friday for overtime and for the Friday cast. Okay, let's go into some balls deep. So if you thought we were getting into some ridiculous shit, now we're going to get into some real ridiculous shit. Before we do, let's pump some of the merch right now. If you didn't know, we released this brand new GTTFG, the Friends logo, in was it last week or this past week? I feel like it was, oh no, we did a different one. Oh, do I have that? Oh, maybe I have to load up the picture. I'll show you the new one. I don't think I promoted that yesterday. We have the Friends GTTFG I'll Be Swole For You design. We have the Jim Riz shirt. If you have a child, they're going to get it, so get it for them. We also have some other merch, new diet plan, Keep Calm and Get Swole. We have the GTTFG Go to the Fucking Gym beard logo. We have the GTTFG college design, the Depth Vader, To the Fucking Gym and Beyond, the Buzz Swole Year, which is a legit amazing design. Let me see if I have... Remember, use code Daily Swole for 10% off. I want to show you the new one. Maybe I keep going to grab. There we go. I didn't bring up the new design. I'll bring it up here. I keep going to grab my mouse and it's not there. I don't know why it wasn't working. Don't tell me I have to buy a new mouse. A brand new design that's available now on papasoy.com. Breaking Swole. This is fucking awesome. This is awesome. Let me see it. Sometimes plugging in the mouse and unplugging it will like reset it. Oh, it works. And now it's just zooming in. Okay. All right. Let's get all the pixels in there. Hold on a second. All right. So will this actually work? Let me see. Oh, it does work. No, I got the mouse back. Okay. Breaking Swole. So this is a great design. If you love the show Breaking Bad, if you're just listening, Breaking Swole. Breaking Swole. I am the one who lifts. We'll have some other designs too like that. That's going to be a great shirt. So check this out, Breaking Swole. Use code Daily Swole for 10% off. Breaking Swole. That's a great shirt. I love it. Breaking Swole. So good. So good. All right, let's get into some balls deep content. Here we go. Drum roll.
What's in the box?
All right, first one. Let's see if we got a short one. We always like an appetizer before the main course. Let's do this one. You can't die from fatness. This person's responding to their @ is dietitian, at dietitian Hannah. So it's a dietitian on TikTok, a dietitian. It's a dietitian. It's a dietitian. You know, they know what they're talking about because they have dietitian in their @ responding to a comment on TikTok. There's no such thing as being fat phobic. They just don't want to end up dying before they turn 30 or 40. Agreed. I don't want to die now. I'm going to take care of myself. So let's see what dietitian Hannah has to say.
Did you know that those in the overweight category, which is based on BMI, so it's problematic in its own.
BMI is accurate for someone who doesn't exercise. You don't have to like it. It's accurate. Come on. When is BMI inaccurate? When someone's muscular and ripped. Then it's inaccurate because they have lean mass. So is it problematic? If you have a BMI that's 35, you're fucking obese. It's accurate. You're huge for no accidental reasons. So I'm not saying it's one metric. It's one measurement. It's like stepping on a scale. If it says 200 pounds, you could be a bodybuilder, or you could be morbidly obese at 5'3". So it's one metric, but it's accurate in itself, in its own right. Okay.
But those in the overweight category actually have reduced mortality to those in the normal weight category. And get this, you can't die from fatness.
Oh my God. Okay, so this kind of stupid logic is, all right, let's give a soundboard there.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
Everyone except Hannah. You can't die from fatness. Well, that's not how it works. Okay? You can't drown if you're not in water either. Like, you can't drown in the ocean if you're sitting on the beach. So, I mean, I don't know if that's a good analogy, but it's as stupid as that statement. You can die from the lifestyle habits that lead you to fatness. If you're overeating, overconsuming, eating garbage fucking foods, not exercising, yeah, you can be fat and you can die because both are outcomes. Both are negative outcomes. Like, that's the stupidest fucking thing. You're not fat first and like, oh, the fat's eating me alive like the blob. No, your terrible habits are leading to everything, including early death and demise. It's so stupid.
Sure, you could die from factors that are associated to fatness.
Oh, yeah.
But body size on its own is not a killer.
That doesn't mean anything. What are you talking about? Body size on its own? You're literally agreeing with me. You're saying, oh, yeah, you can die from but on its own. It's not there on its own. You're not morbidly obese without the lifestyle habits. So stop being stupid. Stop it. Stop being stupid. Stop it.
You went full retard, man.
Why won't you stop?
Think of it this way.
No.
If someone smokes their entire life and maybe they have yellow teeth, you're likely not going to associate their yellow teeth with their cause of death.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
What is the best move to silence a woman?
So unfortunately, fat phobia is very real, and this comment is a great example of it.
Oh my God, it's over. Thank fucking God.
Shampoo my crotch.
If they smoke their whole life, it's not the yellow teeth. Bro, what?
Matt Damon.
Bro, what? What the fuck are you talking about? You don't say. You don't say. Wow. So you mean if you eat garbage your entire life, trash your body, you're morbidly obese, it's not the fatness that killed you. It's cause and effect. The obesity is the outcome of the inputs, of the habits. You do bad things. Obesity is the result. Fatness and extra body fat, having an extra human on your body is that's a side effect. It leads to a lot of other fucking problems, including you holding tons of extra weight, which is terrible signaling for your body. Having excess body fat is not a good thing. Okay, so what do you expect? We're not looking for truth in these posts. These posts are just ridiculous. So don't worry about it. Okay. Holy shit, we're doing that one last. We're doing that one last because the last one, it says homeschool your kids. And Jesus Christ, we're doing that last. Oh my God, we're doing that last. Easier to be overweight when you're poor.
What's in the box?
In most countries, you're not morbidly obese it's because of the fucking low quality food and
you're
inflation.
overweight, like just work out. But my sister brought up a really like mind-blowing point. When you're being fat phobic, you're also being a little bit classist. Have you heard of this argument?
No, because it's fucking stupid.
Not heard of that. When you're somebody who has less money.
Hey, bro, let's start a podcast. Let's do a podcast, bro. You know what we should do? We should make a podcast.
It's a lot easier to be overweight.
To buy a whole meal at a grocery store is a lot more expensive. But if you go like to say a McDonald's, they have like $1
or Little Caesars.
Yeah, you could get pizza for $10.
All right, huge cap. It's easier and cheaper. That's not fucking true. This is a big fucking cap. This is the fundamental lie when it comes to fast food's more expensive. She's just saying you can go and get a meal, whatever, for $10. No one's going to McDonald's and spending $1. No one. You go into a $1 menu, what do you get? You get 5 or 6 things. The average, let's say it's $10, okay? That's a pound of grass-fed beef and even a couple sweet potatoes or some fruit. A pound of grass-fed, grass-finished beef is going to be $7, $8. even if you just get grain-fed beef, you're getting beef, let's say $3, $4, $5. Like you're going to get a pound of beef and you can get something extra and you can get like a sweet potato. Sweet potatoes are like 79 cents a pound. So you can get a whole meal, not just one meal. If you get a sweet potato and a pound of beef, let's say one large size sweet potato and a pound of grass-fed beef, say a pound of beef, you can eat that for 2 meals. You can eat that for 3 meals. Like one person. You can have 4 ounces, or 5 ounces, 5 ounces. But then they have to cook it. Oh my God, you have to do something. You can still buy food. This is what pisses me off. I'm not saying it's easy. It's not supposed to be easy. I'm not saying it's fucking easy. What I am saying is that if you have $20 to buy a pizza, you have $20 to buy quality food. Period. End of story. You're still able to buy food. You just don't.
To feed your whole family. And like groceries that would come out to what, like 30, 40 bucks or 50, depending on how big your family is.
To even have time to work out.
Stop. To even have time to work out. Coming from all these fucking soft soy boys and like drinking out of Solo cups, enjoy your phthalates. Look at this fucking shit. Nice jeans, bro. I'm just trashing for no reason. So all these betas are just, oh my God, do you even have time to work out? Shut up. Stop making excuses. If you don't want to eat healthy and exercise, then just say that. Stop making, to even have time? Oh my God, you make time. 24 hours in a day. Manage your time better. But I'm busy. Welcome to life. Manage your time better.
It's also a privilege. A lot of people who are like lower income, they're working to get by, bro. They're working.
Also, I'm pausing this. They're working long hours, long shifts. True. Inflation. This is why we need better money. Hashtag Bitcoin. This is why we need non-inflatable currency. This is why we need to get rid of this government bloat and all this bullshit that's printing money and devaluing. They're stealing from you. Every time they tax you, they're stealing from you. Every time they print another fucking dollar and send it to goddamn fucking Ukraine, they're stealing from you. Anytime they're printing money, that's what inflation is. It's printing of the money. It's printing of the money. The CPI, the Consumer Price Index, that's downstream. That's other shit. Like, that's why when you see Joe Biden fucktards tweets and stuff like, oh, we're doing better, inflation's down. When you blow it through the fucking roof and then it lowers slightly because you're jacking up interest rates, it's not a success. You're ruining shit and then making it slightly better. That's not a win. So, like, this is a huge problem. This is why food's getting more and more shitty, because it's subsidized by the government, which means the government's spending money and paying off farmers in order to produce low quality corn and soy at a loss. Like, the farmers are only getting by because they're getting government subsidies and they're destroying the topsoil. They're eradicating the environment, destroying the environment. Tons and tons of water, worthless fucking products. Corn and soy is an absolute fucking waste. Not only that, it's creating like bacteria, like antibiotic resistant bacteria. The genetically modified crops are sprayed to fucking hell with pesticides. I don't know if you guys know that, but the reason why they're genetically modified is these crops, I'm going on a rant here. These crops are genetically modified to resist that one specific pesticide. So that pesticide would kills everything, every bug, every animal, every plant, every grass, every weed, everything except that plant. It's modified to resist that pesticide. And then you're consuming those products that have those pesticide resistance. So then you're just perpetuating this like pesticide resistant bacteria and you're just eating that garbage shit. Gross. Anyway, inflation's a huge problem. But again, it's choices. Everyone has 24 hours in a day. I have worked 17 hours a day. It's crazy. And I still exercised. Doesn't mean you can lift for 2 hours and have a casual. No, you have to fucking get it done. I'm not saying it's easy. It's not supposed to be easy.
A lot of people who are like lower income, they're working to get by, bro. They're working long hours, long shifts.
And they all have Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus, and they go to the movies and they eat out and blah, 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 blah. Right? So.
Gonna have time to even work out. Like, obviously, gonna be overweight.
Or like they're too tired to cook.
So. Oh, you're too tired to cook. You're too tired to cook? You're too tired to cook? Do you hear what you're saying? You're too tired to cook. It's the first time in the history of fucking humanity. I'm just too tired to cook. That's how humans eat. Like, that's how you get food in your face, is like you make it. You hunt it, you gather it, you cook it. How the fuck else? You're a human being. Jesus Christ. How else does food get consumed? You're supposed to cook. You're too tired to cook. Since when is that a factor? I'm too tired. Any of you have kids? You're too tired to cook. You still have to cook, right? Yeah, let my family starve. I'm too tired. I'm sorry. It's just laziness. I'm not sorry, but it is laziness. I'm not saying some people don't have less money and have a harder, but like come on. It's the priorities are all fucked up. Tell me, you can't make an argument. Okay, they're tired. I get it. They're also tired from eating garbage food, not getting sleep and not hydrating. Like, they're not eating quality food. You're eating garbage fast food and then working in a job you hate. Like, yeah, it's going to wear you down.
They're just buy a piece of pizza.
It's not necessarily anybody's fault, right? It's not necessarily an ugly thing because people can't help but be overweight.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That is the stupidest fucking
Matt Damon.
There are a lot of people that don't have money. There are a lot of people that don't have money that take care of their health better than what they're describing. There are a lot of people that don't have money that go to the gym, that lift. Maybe they literally cannot get grass-fed, grass-finished beef, but they're still buying beef, and they're eating rice, or they're eating fruit, or they're eating like vegetables, whatever they're doing. Like, you can still, look, this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's easy, but no one's going to give you a handout. I mean, I guess the government can to an extent, but no one's going to do this for you. If you're waiting for someone to like hold you in their arms and snuggle you and be like, oh, we're going to make it all better, we're going to give you everything. You have to do it yourself. In other words, what are you waiting for? You have to take control. You have to do this. You have to make those tougher decisions. You have two options. I can go into the drive-thru at McDonald's and get that instant mouth pleasure for 10, 15 bucks, or I can go. Most McDonald's and most fast food, or many, I shouldn't say most, but many are in plazas where you have like, at least down here in Florida. I know a lot of places I see it. You'll see a restaurant, you'll see a supermarket, but on the edge, like on the front aspect, obviously it's on the front of the road. You have the KFC or you have the McDonald's or Taco Bell. It's right there in the front. So you can see it. So you can smell the vegetable oils coming out through the exhaust. So a lot of these, in these little strip mall areas, you'll have a supermarket or a grocery store or something in the same plaza. Okay. So you have a choice, $15, or you walk in. A lot of times people will wait for 20 minutes in a drive-thru. I see it. I'll drive by and I'll see 20 fucking cars. I'm like, oh my God. Literally just sitting in a line, 20 fucking minutes. Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Tell me in the comments. Have you seen, of course the answer is going to be yes. You've seen a long line of fast food. So you go and you look in the fast food window and people are standing in a huge line. It's not fast food many times. You're sitting in the drive-thru for 10, 15 minutes. You can walk in, go right to the beef section, grab it, self-checkout, boom, you're out the door. In many cases, you can be in and out of a supermarket faster than you can at a drive-thru. Okay? And then guess what? You have to go home. Do you know how easy it is to cook ground beef? Take the ground beef, turn on a pan, put a little tallow or a little bit, and just a few minutes on that side, a few minutes on the other side, kind of break it up a little bit, and it's done. 10 minutes, it's done. It's done. That's it. It's not complicated. You can make any argument you want. Oh my God, but you don't have time in this. You don't have time to cook food to eat. Chances are you're bad at time management. Most people are. I have the card over here. Most people don't. Most people make excuses. Most people, you don't have time. Well, how do a lot of people do it? By prioritizing it. You have time to watch Netflix for 5 hours at night. You'll watch Netflix from 10 to 1 a.m., destroy your sleep habits, get 5 hours of sleep, feel exhausted. That jacks up your cortisol. So you're getting more fat. You're not metabolizing. You're just miserable. You're causing all sorts of like disease potential and heart disease and cancer risk. Why are you watching? You could be meal prepping for the week. You could be cooking. You could be sleeping and waking up more energized and having less brain fog and exercising. So you're going to watch Netflix from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., wake up at 6, get 4 hours of sleep, and then be like, I'm too tired to No shit. You're too tired to exercise. No fucking shit, Sherlock. I'm too tired. Go to sleep at 10 o'clock. And then if you're waking up at like 5, and then wake up at 5 and train for half an hour, then take a shower and go to fucking work. It's like, stop making excuses. People don't have money, but they'll have every fucking subscription, and they'll have the latest Air Jordans or the latest PS5 or whatever the fuck it is, so they can stare at a screen. It's like if you have all these subscriptions, guess what you're also doing? You're paying for them, so you're spending money. Well, healthy food is so expensive. Not if you have those subscriptions. And guess what? Those subscriptions don't watch themselves. You're paying for it. And either you're just wasting money and not watching Netflix and Hulu, but paying for it all, or you're also wasting your time. And that's much more valuable than your money. Your time and attention is your most valuable asset. So stop wasting your fucking time. So make more excuses. Not buying it. Not buying it. Heather, this is what happens when people take the path of least resistance. Not realizing how much control and power they actually have of their own lives. They don't realize their life is a choice. Indeed. Angel, the Chick-fil-A in my town has 5 different drive-through areas because so many people would be backed up into the strip mall parking lot. Jesus Christ. Stuff's such garbage. Let's see here. Yeah, agreed. Lisa, I think most people aren't taught regardless of their class. Other kids at my kids' school are having chips for their morning snack, then microwave mac and cheese and a Coke for lunch. Kids are eating shit through all levels of socioeconomic status. I agree. Like in a lot of these private schools, and you have candy machines, you have all this shit. It doesn't make a difference. Kids are eating shit all over the place. Some people say like, well, they're also eating better at home. Maybe, maybe not. A lot of times, in order to get these kids to a private school, the parents are working all the time. They have like a nanny as this, they're punched out, they're buying pizza. There's other downside. Just because a child or someone has more money doesn't mean they have a great family life. A lot of times there's like disconnect. Father's like a workaholic and they're disconnected and there's a lot of issues. So people always assume like, oh, well, they're poor. So someone that with more money has it easier. They're not making good choices either. A lot of like the quote happiest countries are countries where they don't have a lot of material possessions. They don't have a lot of money. Some of these, other cultures are happier when they have less. They're not always like trying to get the next latest thing. They're not trying to fill voids in their lives and stuff like that. Having less desires and having less things that you want will make you happier, more satisfied with what you have right now, and you live more in the moment, et cetera, et cetera. Let's see here. Why is that? Okay, good. Okay, hashtag Dick Draft for a chance to win today's Swole card. Let's see. Yeah, that's bullshit, Lisa. That's nonsense. Most people are stupid. So Lisa says, it's a battle to teach your kids the truth about food. Other people tell me they're going to have an eating disorder because I teach them the difference between food that's actually real and not. They won't have an eating disorder. They're going to have knowledge. So people will say that because they don't want to feel like they're doing their kids a disservice, which they are. They don't want to, it hurts their fragile egos that someone else is doing better than them, and they know that they should be, but it's easier for them not to, and to pretend for themselves because they're addicted to these foods too. So that's nonsense. Teaching your kids and actually giving them the truth and the facts will arm them in society. And are they going to be grown-ass adults and they can make their own decisions and eat shit if they want to? Sure. But at the same time, if you educate them and you raise them to the best of your ability with this information, they'll be aware of this, and chances are they'll make better decisions, especially if you lead by example. We talked about this on the accountability meeting the other day, on Monday. It's hypocrisy. Kids can sniff out hypocrisy a mile away. And if you're a hypocrite, if you have garbage food in your house and you're eating it at night and like, no, because I said so, you can't have it, blah, blah, blah. they're going to see right through it and they're going to want it. But if you don't even have it in this house, they want to emulate you. And if you're leading by example and you tell them why and you educate them and you show them and you watch documentaries, you understand, like you educate them and you treat them like intelligent beings, which they are, they're going to learn. And then they can make their own decisions once they leave and they move out of your house or they do that. It's their life, but at least you arm them properly. You gave them the tools and then, but you can't, control everything. Let's see. Green Trolley. My kids eat shit at their mother's house. Only beef and fruit at my home. And she blames my diet anytime they feel bad with her. Hashtag draft veteran here. Dick draft veteran. Dick draft veteran here. Thank you so much for your service. So she blames your diet. So when they feel bad with her, so when they're eating shit at their place, at her place, and they're like, oh my God, my tummy. And she's like, that's because you're eating bad at your dad's. Is that what she said? Is that the argument she's making? I can see why you guys split. Let's see. All right, last one. Speaking of children and speaking of like eating and schools and stuff, this one's called Homeschool Your Kids. I don't know where this is from. I don't think this is going to be good. I don't know. Hold on to your nips. This could get grotesque.
Huckleberries. Today, I wanted to introduce you to a new friend in our class. Well, this, Huckleberries, is my friend Nash. It's their first day in our class. They're just looking around at all of you, and they're so curious to know who you all are.
What is happening here? So it's a little doll they're talking about. That's a person. It's a boy or a girl. Pick one.
Today,
what is going on here?
Was fun. It was really interesting, though, knowing going in, being like, I don't know what questions kiddos are going to have or what they're going to say, which is both like nerve-wracking, but also kind of exciting. It's that place of
I'm removing
not
my
knowing
face
as a teacher and just being okay with that. And the friend likes to ask the question, are you a boy or a girl? And Nash answers, I'm just a kid.
The more you hate me, the more you will learn.
Oh my God. Where's this from? Someone said you saw this on Twitter. What the fuck is this? Is like a Vice video or something? I'm just a kid. I'm just a kid. Well, guess what? You're going to have a dick or you're going to have a gash. You're going to have one. You're going to have an innie or an outie. What's it going to be? This is so fucked up. I don't even know if this is like pedophilia. It's child abuse, but like it's so sick. It's sick and twisted that people are that it's so acceptable in so many areas to brainwash children, to manipulate their supple little minds with your literal gender fetish. That's what it is. Like, this chick is like getting wet just talking about gender. It's fucking gross. Super fucking creepy. Like, this is not a joke. This is real shit. This is some sick fucking shit. Oh my God. If I have a child and I will end a teacher. How are there not more like murders? How are there not more parents like just ending teachers? Not that they should, but like, I'm shocked. Like, I cannot believe that this shit actually is. These children in this video have parents. Where the fuck are they? Just saying, even if this is a fake video or like whatever this is, like, where are the parents of those children that are listening to this? Where are their parents? Does anyone know where this is from? I don't know where this is from. It's just in my folder.
But kids can be boys or...
They can be boys or girls. Yeah.
Or maybe non-binary.
Yeah.
It was just like...
Oh my God.
Non-binary, yeah. That's just something that we know. And this is something, I mean, it's like, they're 4 and 5 years old, and they just didn't make a big deal out of being a boy or a girl.
They don't know any better. They didn't make a big deal. They're 5. It's called innocence. They don't know. Their little operating systems are getting fucking hacked. You're implementing a virus into their operating systems. Little kids are a computer, and you are infecting them with a virus. This is so sick. And they just went non-binary. They believe in Santa Claus too. They believe a fat man is coming down the chimney and leaving them presents and eating processed sugar in their living room. That's creepy. Oh, this fucking fat man flew on top of our roof, squeezed down a chimney that no human can fit down, ate some cookies and milk and left you presents because he's watching you all year round. Just beaten off. Santa's a pedophile. And so are these people. Fucking insane. They just thought, non-binary. They believe when they lose a tooth, you put under a pillow and a fucking fairy comes in the window and leaves some money and takes the tooth. Anything weird about that story? I mean, maybe the tooth fairy is calcium deficient. Why is a fairy taking your teeth? Is that not the creepiest fucking shit ever if you just think about it a little bit? A little being with wings is coming into your room when you're sleeping. If you put a tooth under your pillow, they're going to remove it and leave you money. Thanks for the tooth, bro. Tooth fairy's a fucking crackhead. Just leaving you money. I'll pay you for your tooth. Bro, that's some weird shit. They believe that too. They believe that bunnies lay eggs that are made of chocolate and they hide them in your house. Because bunnies don't lay eggs. There's that too. And all sorts of shit. And all sorts of shit. All right. They didn't make a big deal of boy or they don't know. Kids also are not going to be racist unless you program them, which you are, right? That's what they're also doing. They're programming racism. They're programming differences and all inclusivity, except we're all inclusive. We're all compassionate and loving and caring for everyone, unless you don't agree with us, and then we'll burn you at the stake. The compassionate left. Oh, thank you, Julian. I appreciate the the tooth fairy is Cokie trying to fix his teeth. Let's see, Julian. It was shown at a training given by NC, Association for the Education of Young Children. Fuck that. You mean indoctrination of young children? The documentary is called Reflecting on Anti-Bias Education and Action, the Early Years. Yeah, that's a long phrase. That's a long phrase for child abuse. This is so sick. This is so fucking sick. That's why the video is titled Homeschool Your Kids. This is insane. Let's play it. There's a minute left. This is so gross.
They're 4 and 5 years old, and they just didn't make a big deal out of being a boy or a girl.
And I think it was a huge testament to how much we've been talking about it in the classroom that you never mentioned the term non-binary. It was a child who brought that up.
Bullshit. 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 But that makes sense. So let me tell you, it makes sense because it's a child that brought that up. You know why? Because the only reason the parents are allowing their kids on this screen is because they're in it. They're in it. They're fucking up their own kids. They're abusing their own kids. They're brainwashing and manipulating and indoctrinating their own kids. That's the only reason why these kids are on camera is because the parents agree with it. So of course the parents are talking about non-binary. The kid's like, non-binary. They came up with it on their own. No, they didn't. They did not. The child did not come up with it on their own. They were told by another adult or their parents. Very likely their parents, because otherwise the kids wouldn't be on camera. They need release forms.
Because it's constantly in conversation.
Yeah,
why?
Just like me. So Nash, just like me, is non-binary.
You're a woman. You're not a boy. You look like a woman. You sound like a woman. You have a vagina. You're a woman. It's okay to be a woman. I'm non-binary. What does that mean? I'm neither? Fuck all. Come on, man. Come on. This is reality. This is reality. Or I thought you were an adult. Like, how are you a teacher? You're not even a functioning human adult. I'm not trying to be rude. It's just stupid. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense for a reason. It's okay for things to not make sense. Those who can't do, teach. True words have never been spoken. A lot of people that can do also like to teach and educate, but there's a reason why people just grow up in the education system and never leave, because it's their safe space. They don't want to go out into the real world with actual people with brains and IQs. Okay.
So they aren't sure if they're a boy or a girl. So when people ask them, are you a boy or a girl? Right now they just feel like saying, I'm a kid. They're figuring it out.
Why does he like stars?
They like stars.
They like stars.
Yeah. And they are
why did
really...
he wear a star shirt?
They wore their star shirt because it's their favorite shirt. And because they were nervous today, they thought they would wear something that makes them feel special.
Yeah, it's really sad. It's really sick. Like, listening to that fucking shit being told to these little fucking innocent, beautiful little faces, it's disgusting. That's really sick shit. That's so fucked up. It makes me feel actually really sick to my stomach. It's really sickening. All right, let's get a little tainty, man. All right, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. That was really disgusting. Tainty man and the church. Pinkston Churchill is a girl. She has a vagina. That's right. Tainty man has a peepee. He doesn't have his balls, but that's because he's a dog. And they were taken before I could protect him, my poor tainty man. But he actually is a tainty man because now he has an extra long taint. He has no sack, so he just has a super taint. But he is a man. He has a penis. And yeah. Nancy, it's like watching Hitler Youth videos. Totally. It's the brown shirts. It's really some sick shit. It's so sick. It's so sick. Rail the Druid. I'm autistic and wanted to be a girl as a kid. I'd have been one of those targeted kids now. I grew up to be a 6'2" bi Viking. I love it. All this gender talk with kids is gross. Well, thank you for your comment. Yeah, you would have been. You would have been like prime for this, and you probably would have had your nuts chopped off and shit. Lady says he has a coin purse. He had a coin purse. He had one.
You lose.
I know. They took it. I only met him like a day or two after he lost his sack. My poor tainty man. Does Churchill identify as a cat or a rodent? You watch your fucking mouth. A rodent? My sweet, sweet Church? Does that look like a rodent to you? Does that look like a rodent? It's okay. It's okay. Carson didn't mean anything by it. Does that look like a rodent? No. Get your belly rubs. I'm sorry they're mean to you. This is your safe space, Church. Oh, my hand's cold. So warm. You're so cute. So cute. Leave the pups alone. Yeah, everyone's turning on you, Carson. How dare you? Lady Hawk, Popeye would have been trans if I were a kid today. Turns out I'm just a gender non-conforming female. Yeah, I remember even when I was growing up, most people, like, you were a tomboy. So you were a girl who like sports and you like wrestling and stuff didn't make you not a girl. You were just called a tomboy. It's like you had masculine traits. It's okay. Some men have more feminine traits. And then some women have more masculine traits. What happened to being gay or being a lesbian? There's nothing wrong with that either. If that's your thing, it's like, okay. Just because you like women doesn't mean you're like, hey, I need to cut some skin off my leg to make a fake dick. It's like, you can just be attracted to women. Like, all right. If you're a man, it's like, you can just, most of they're just gay men, or they're not sure and their hormones are going crazy, or they're stopping their puberty before they even fucking develop. It's literally insanity. It's literal insanity. It's literally Joseph Mengele level angel of death. It's literally sinister shit like that. You're manipulating, you're cutting off genitals of children, chemically castrating children. This might even be worse. I can't say that. But this video that we just watched, you're literally raping their poor little brains. And you're separating them from reality. So guess what happens? You have these kids that get older and they go out into the world, I would say the real world. Like, that's all that there is right now. And they're going to be like, oh my God, all these people, all these bigots, we have to change everything. It's all awful. It's all bad. Safe space. And they're going to be using TikTok as their therapist couch too. That's crazy. This is the equivalent of growing up and having adults that's what this stuff is, right? You think you're gray gender or your clown self. This is the equivalent of children believing in Santa Claus. You have adults or growing into adults that are believing in Santa Claus still. Does anyone not think Tainty Cam's still on? Does anyone still, like, that's not a problem? You're literally believing that there's a Santa Claus. Same thing. You're believing in something that's not true, that doesn't exist. You're believing in some weird fucking narrative. That is some scary, fundamental societal collapse right there. So hopefully this shit will turn around. A lot of times this stuff will, who knows? But it doesn't seem to be slowing down, but the more insane this gets, hopefully reality prevails. So a lot more people are speaking up about it. You're starting to see more mainstream, like, what the fuck is this stupid shit? More people, look, you have to come out and say it. You can't keep quiet. You have to say when there's something stupid, you have to fucking, you have to say it. You have to laugh at it. You have to make fun of it. You have to speak up. Otherwise, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Okay, so let's get into, that being said, let's get into the Dick Draft card. Let's give this motherfucker away. Dick Draft, Famwise. Who's going to dick down that teacher? That teacher. Oof, that's a rough one. My God. Good Lord. We got a winner. KK, Natty Knight. Congratulations. We got a Dick Draft here. Thank you so much for your service. Your deployment will be, you'll receive your deployment shortly. And man, you have your work cut out for you. You're going to take on all of those teachers. Thank you so much for your service. You're going to have to run a train. We're going to have to, we'll send some other warriors in there with you. And of course, Lacey will lead the charge, but, we need your help. We need you to take out that entire school, all the way through the producers of that documentary, whatever the fuck that was. So we need your help. These are dire times. Thank you for your service. Let's close this BJ. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com, Swole Card 2455 in the subject, your mailing address in the bio, the email. And of course, tomorrow, Famwise. Tomorrow, round table. La mesa circular. Tomorrow, the 26th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. There we go. Thank you for your service. Proud to serve. We'll take some soundboard requests. Let's kick us off Little tyrannical tuck.
There's tiny tuck, typical tuck, total tuck, and the tyrannical tuck.
Tuck that shit.
Fucking people.
What do we got here, fam? What do we got?
You can be fat and be healthy. I'm sorry, Lizzo, healthier than I will ever be.
Don't forget to watch where the sun don't shine.
Shut up, bitch!
Epic soundboard.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
No more shenanigans, no more tomfoolery, no more ballyhoo.
Your father was a woman.
We got it now. We got it now.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down, so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again.
The attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
Just in time. No hands? How's he doing it? Coast to coast. There we go. Got it all, bitches. Got it all.
I gave it a 10. A 10. A fucking 10.
Very nice. Thank you so much, fam, for being here. Crank this bad boy up. All right. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. And of course, fullnormousx.com to join the fam today. Tomorrow's episode, private, members only, roundtable at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Join the fam. Join from your homepage at 5 p.m. I will swole text you anyway, but make sure that you are joining the fam right now so you don't miss out on any of the private live streams. Plus, overtime. We got overtime the following day on Friday. So we're going to have some awesome DWG and new edits. So make sure you're there for that. Also, if you haven't yet left us a review on Spotify, make sure you leave us a 5-star review if you enjoy the show. And of course, on Apple Podcasts, anywhere you bang your ear holes, share the stream, share, and leave us a review. It helps tremendously. And at minimum, hit the like button on YouTube. It helps a lot. All those links for the live streams, to submit a question, to join the fam, download the 7 pillars, all that good shit is available in the description, show notes down below. So thanks for being here. Beaches, we'll see you tomorrow for the roundtable in place of episode 2456, but I will also have a nice little mini episode on the podcast. So make sure you check that out as well. We'll see you then. Peace, McGeese, Deuce, Magoose, your boy, Papa Swolio. Oh, 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 oh.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits.